Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. This is going to be a today's topic video. And you guys know it has been like a wild month of August. Before we jump into this, I'm just going to let you guys know I would love your feedback. For several months in these today's topic videos, I would do a little birthday card pull at the end of it for the date. So, like, this video is actually going to be for the 31st, even though today's almost over. And it'll just be a quick message, and then we'll morph into the September 1st message. But throughout the month of August, I was gone a lot. I had vacation, I had family, my birthday was yesterday. So just like everything was off kilter throughout the month of August. And so I didn't stay consistent. We missed a couple days. I didn't get to keep doing the birthday messages, but I don't know if anybody misses them or not. I think I've had one person who was like, hey, will you get to the 29th? And so I just would love your guys' feedback. If you like that, if I tack that on at the end of each one of these dated messages like that. So, like, for example, at the end of this, I would pull a little birthday message for the 31st and for September the 1st, just in general, right? If you guys like that, we'll keep doing it. If you guys don't care, then that's fine. You can let me know if you're live in this chat with me right now, but I also just posted a post where you guys will be able to vote and just let me know. Because if you guys dig it, then we'll keep doing it for sure. And if not, we'll ixnay. So anyway, guys, so great to see you. All right, let's take a quick peek and just ask, what is the big message here for the 31st? And this is just going to be a quick 3-card pull because today's almost over. So it's more like, what was the big ticket item for the 31st? And we'll go to the 1st of September. We have got, because I like to put these videos out usually in advance because I know people watch in all different regions. You know, if you're in Europe, you're ahead of me by at least, 8 hours if you're in London. So I want to make sure that I'm honoring the fact that, we're further along in some places on the globe. But for the 31st, this could have been a real rough day for a masculine. It doesn't have to be. I don't typically read for genders, but we do have a masculine on this card. And that 5 of Cups is somebody feels a little lost, a little hopeless, like, I'm not happy. I've got a lot to my name. Maybe I've got money. I've got a nice house, but there's something missing, some big, huge thing missing. And obviously with the Judgment card here, it's like, it doesn't matter where I live. It doesn't matter what is going right in my life. There is a resurrection of a connection that I wish I could have. So he's feeling really lost. We have a masculine really lost today on the 31st because he's lost, wondering, like, is there any way he could get someone back in his life? We have a 4 of Cups. I mean, maybe he was sitting on the fence before and he didn't make a move for love. You notice that tree is pruned into the shape of a heart. And it just says he really should probably not have missed out on this opportunity. Why is he feeling it so much on the 31st? Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. We got an Ace of Wands upright. I mean, the light bulb has gone on. He's feeling very passionate. He's feeling like he knows what his heart really wants. But why? What's so different about now? Oh, Hermit. Something has happened that's changed inside of him. He found his inner fire. He found his inner light. It's almost like, this is not to be disrespectful toward her, but it's almost as if when he could have been with her, I mean, look, if you're going to wind up living in a huge old mansion like he is here, maybe he worked really hard and was all focused on money. Maybe the idea of who he was going to live in that big old mansion with never even crossed his mind. Maybe his focus wasn't on love, or it wasn't on this opportunity. It was on everything but. We're going to say love just because that tree is pruned into the shape of a heart. So maybe he wasn't thinking about love. And this is not to say she didn't matter, but sometimes we get really driven and we imagine that what I must do, what I must accomplish in my life is I must make tons of money. I must. And we tell ourselves this and we push ourselves really, really hard for one big goal. And then one day we go, that didn't even matter. Maybe he's reached this goal and you know what? It's a hollow victory, because this is somebody who really feels, I would say he's feeling kind of desperately lonely. He's holding this map and it's like, I don't know where to go next. Sure, maybe somebody could be staying like at a really nice hotel or something. Also, they could travel for work. And they're like, this is the most freaking lonely life ever. This could be a big giant hotel. Could be he's on a vacation and he's there by himself, or I know there's something that is inherently lonely about hotels if you're at them by yourself. If you're there on a vacation with somebody having a good time, hotels are wonderful, but otherwise they're very impersonal. It's very lonely. It reminds you that this kind of like intended to be quite blank. And it just feels, you kind of feel out there on your own. And if he's in a hotel, I don't know why he would be exactly, but he's got a map. So that's why I'm like, maybe he's traveling, maybe it's a road trip, but it just feels like desperately lonely. Like if only I could call her, if only I could talk to her tonight. All of a sudden it's like clicking. And maybe it's with the help of the divine. Maybe it's because he's been on this hermit's journey. He could be a Virgo, certainly, or a Scorpio. But it's like all of a sudden the light bulb goes on. I definitely think it's with the help of the divine, but something in his heart is like, I want to talk to her. Have you ever seen like pets are like this sometimes? I think cats are famous for this. Cats will ignore you. And then one day a cat freaks out and is like, oh my God, you are what I have needed. And, cats, like they're nuzzling under your chin and they're biting your face and they're like going nuts to just rub all over you. And I kind of feel like that's almost what this is. Like, he was fine. He was by himself. He didn't need love. He didn't need anybody. And then all of a sudden, one day, something snaps in his mind and it's like, I need love, must be pet. Like that's how this comes across. I don't know if he's just been out there on his own for such a long time. There's that 10 of Pentacles and it's sideways. Like, God, why don't I have somebody share all my either wealth or success with? Why don't I have somebody to share this with? Why am I not in this big resort or this big hotel with somebody? He's lonely. On the 31st, we have a masculine that is lonely, and he could be, like I said, a Virgo or a Scorpio. Is that going to prompt him to do anything? Is that going to prompt him? Wholesome woman, so great to see you, babe. It's been a minute. We've got Queen of Coins upright. Is he going to reach out? Is he going to do something? Well, let me put it this way. If he did choose to reach out to this Queen of Pentacles, she would definitely talk to him. She'd be happy to talk to him. So this isn't something where it's like, oh, I messed things up with her. I hurt her. I, disrespected her. We don't have that element, because this says if he did reach out to her, Queen of Pentacles is very generous, very kind. This might have been like the road not taken. This might be like the romantic partner or the person that he just feels he could be good with, but he never even tried. This could be somebody who he knows through work or business first. Awesome woman, you're so sweet. We got 8 of Pentacles upright. I definitely feel like this has to be somehow work related. I don't know in exactly what capacity, but if he were to reach out to her, hell yes, she would talk to him, of course. And I think he has lots to say to her. They might begin by talking about business related, or he might reach out to her like under the ploy of business. I almost feel like, look, I know today's almost over, and depending on what time zone, our character is in, the 31st is really almost over. It's only 7 where I'm at, but it's much later in on the East Coast, for example. I'm a West Coaster, but it almost feels like, look, if he's not actually reaching out, he sure is envisioning that he's going to. This might be the 31st is the day that he starts to decide, I gotta call. Even if it's too late, I gotta do this. I don't know. I feel like making a decision is actually exciting for him. He may drift off to sleep tonight saying, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna brave reaching out to her at some point, because I know she's really nice. I know I could picture that we could have a great conversation, and I could picture how nice it would be to talk to her. Okay, so basically loneliness is pushing this, we'll say masculine, to make that decision that maybe they should have made a long time ago, which is you actually want companionship, and now you're ready for it, and you even know who you'd like to talk to most. I don't feel like it'll be much longer before he reaches out to her. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at the 1st. Here we go. Message for the 1st. Here we go. What do we have? We've got a 7 of Swords. We've got the Tower. What? Somebody told themselves a whopper of a lie, and it is collapsing in a big way. So on September the 1st, Very timely, right? We've got the albino snake. This is still year of the snake. Somebody has been ignoring everything that their guides have been saying. And their guides have been like either trying to point something out, be like, you're being selfish. We see the green emerald. This could represent selfishness, or it could represent like, hey, this is the area that you need to grow in, or this is an opportunity for growth, and you keep ignoring it, squashing it, pretending you don't see it. This could also be green can be horny, baby. And it could be like the universe was trying to point that out. Either, pay attention to who you're lusting after, or pay attention to his only lust. Whatever this is, our character has been lying, hiding, running from it, and that's not going to work anymore. Big, huge ego collapse. Sometimes that's the thing. We can lie, and that can last for a while. But you know what? The truth is still going to come out, especially when it's what we feel on the inside. We can lie to ourselves only for so long before it gets pretty uncomfortable. It gets pretty unpleasant to know that, like, I wish that I hadn't been lying like that. I wish that I had been more, truthful. We got an Ace of Cups upright. That Ace of Cups is about love. So somebody fought and hid the idea that they wanted love. If what we're seeing after a major ego collapse is the divine is standing right there going, you know what you want, and it's love. And again, we have the serpent holding on to the serpent. It's like somebody fought this all year. Okay, that's a freaking battle. we're almost into, well, this is for this September the 1st. So we have somebody who fought for 9 months. This is like they're giving birth to a truth baby. My truth baby is emerging, and it is that I actually love this person that I've been trying to fight and pretend I didn't love all this time. Two of Pentacles. This, I don't know, we're going to say that it might be a masculine just based off of what we see on the card, okay? But bear in mind, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But right now, I'm feeling like the message for the 1st of September is possibly we have a masculine who fought what he knew to be true for the entire year up until this day. This day, it's not something he can fight anymore. Again, we have somebody who's completely green. So this could be, the Two of Pentacles is, it can be juggling or it can be balance. But we have this feminine. Maybe he kept insisting, no, I don't love her. There's no way I could love her. There's no way she could love me also. No. This is ridiculous. I have to deny this. I have to fight this. I can't imagine that she would want me too. And all of a sudden it's like, I've been telling myself she doesn't want me, and therefore I can't want her. And this is BS. The truth is, my heart does have these feelings for her. And I think it says that if he's honest with himself, he'll realize that he's known for a long time she loves him too. 5 of Cups. She is definitely his wish fulfillment, and she is the one that feels like too good to be true, but also the person that is slipping away. We have a unicorn on top of a wishing well. That's probably why he's been telling himself it's not true. There's no way. There's no way she thinks of me. There's no way. And then that stings and that hurts. And the idea of her not caring about me, that's what he kept clinging to and telling himself, and I don't love her because there's no way she could love me. It'd be a disaster. That'd be too good to be true. No, it's not too good to be true. Especially with the World card. Let me ask, what's the catalyst for this? The World card says he's having like all new like sense of awareness. He's acknowledging some things. He's coming into like this awareness that, oh my God, I've been telling myself this over and over and over, mostly because it hurt to think of, sometimes we lie to ourselves about stuff because it hurts more to think, what if I let myself want that and then I can't have it and it's not possible. Then it's devastating and I feel like I lost something. So instead I'll say I don't even want it, thus avoiding and circumventing the feeling of loss. But at this point, better to be truthful with oneself about what you want. Otherwise, you're never going to go after what you want. But let me just ask first, what is it that's making this like crash down? Like, the truth baby being born on the 1st. King of Cups and the Empress. Honestly, I always dig this particular King of Cups because this card speaks volumes to me. So First off, he is not just a king, he's actually Poseidon or Neptune, right? He has that trident. And what's hilarious is, Poseidon or Neptune, he is as powerful as Zeus, but Zeus is the brother who rules the sky, and Poseidon is the brother who rules the seas in the Olympian god mythology. He should be out in the ocean, right? Um, but he's not. He is fluffing around, floating around in Monet's lily pads. He's in a little pond. Ponds are like still water. They're not big, stormy anything. This is gentle. This is soft. So we have this Herculean, massive, god of the sea and tumultuous emotions that's like, actually, I somehow feel really peaceful today. I feel really like kind of gentle. I feel like I just want to soak. Maybe he's taking like a very effervescent, like floral scented bath or something. I'm picturing like big buff dude in a lovely scented bubble bath, candles, the whole 9 yards, just kicking it. And it's like getting in touch more with like that very beautiful emotional side. Emotions are powerful, yes, but there's a lot of power in being calm and acknowledging things. There's something about his heart chakra opening up. Remember, the color green is heart chakra oriented, and it feels like, with that emerald and then with her being green, the color green is big here. And even with all the lily pads around him, all that, those splashes of green, it just feels like something is opening up his heart chakra. And it may be that he's either thinking about her, or he's just simply acknowledging, God, she's amazing. Maybe he sees her physically, maybe he's encountered her. And again, it's like, she takes my breath away. That's a great song. You took my breath away. I want it back again. It's Traveling Wilburys. I totally forgot that song. I haven't heard it in so long. I adore them. It's Traveling Wilburys is like all the greats put together. You got Tom Petty, you got Roy Orbison, you had got Dylan, my favorite Beatle, George Harrison, and it's him singing that one. I think Petty is singing it with him. Anyway, they share most of the pieces of music anyway. I definitely feel like something about her took his breath away today, and he just got peaceful about it. He just accepted it. I don't know if he saw her or will see her on the 1st, or if it's just something that he acknowledges. Let me see if we can see anything about that. 10 of Wands, he's done fighting. He is laying down some kind of, maybe he just got tired. If I keep saying he had the truth baby, he's given birth to a truth baby because it's 9 months, right? September the 1st, there's just, sometimes it sucks to keep fighting. It takes so much more energy to deny what you know. And it's better and easier and to passively allow. We have that, definitely that 3 of Cups coming in, talk about passive, right? That all rivers are going to be headed back to the ocean. And that's the way it's going to go. So maybe he reached that point where it's like, he is kind of like saying, I fought and fought and fought, and I paddled against this river all this time. But honestly, I'm going over the falls now. And it's just like, my emotions are what they are. I actually really do like her. I really do feel something for her. I would really like to be around her. It's that plain and simple. Maybe he's going to have a conversation with her. And again, it's just going to be like, I can no longer deny what is staring me in the face. I feel better when I'm around her. I feel better when I see her. I feel better when I hear her voice. I always look at waterfalls as speech. That's just me. It's not that a cup card should have conversation on it. That should be emotion. But I look at all cards with waterfall as words. It's just my interpretation. So something about, I don't know if he likes her voice. That song, 5-Star Day by Aqueduct. I don't believe in astrology, but you can read me my horoscope. I like the sound of your voice. It's a really sweet love song. But yeah, it's called 5-Star Day and it's by Aqueduct. Maybe she does some kind of horoscope, since that song pops into my head. I doubt that. This seems more like he knows her through like a business setting, possibly. You know, empresses frequently are business oriented. She has all these apples. Oh my God, I'm still putting away apples, by the way. Some of you saw apple cider, but then we also did 11 gallons of just chopped apples also. And there's still 2 more trees to get to. But sorry, side note on that. It is apple harvesting season. We've got a 9 of Pentacles. Again, he cannot hide what he knows anymore. And I almost feel like this knowledge is kind of like snaking up around him, kind of like a Kundalini awakening, maybe. Or maybe it's just that warm, like sometimes when we realize we love somebody, we care about them. And that's just how it is. Sometimes we actually feel better and warmer inside because it's like, you know what? I'm finally acknowledging I like them. I'm just glad they walk this earth, whether they're mine or not, whether or not I can, have them in my arms or not. I'm just glad to know somebody like that walks this earth. And so why pretend that I don't love them? Sometimes it's easier to admit like, oh, I love that person. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm in love with. And it's okay that I can't be with him, or I imagine that I can't be with him. Right now, I don't know why he's imagining that he can't. He's obviously never pursued this course of action before. But first he had to just get to the point of saying, I want this person. But I love the fact that he's like feeling better for acknowledging it in himself. I think that speaks well of him, being able to say, oh, I love that person. Yeah. Oh no, I might not ever have them in my arms, but God, they're great. And I'm just happy that they're alive. That to me is like a very selfless way to like genuinely love somebody. However, let's go back to that world card, because this is all being like unveiled, right? She originally did not have on the bikini. I had to draw that on for her. So we're just going to say, this is more like there is this naked, raw, like energy, like, okay, it is fully revealed now. This is how I feel. This is how it is. So this is him probably feeling, well, we already saw he's feeling better. He's feeling more empowered. No longer fighting. This is good for him. So I'm the one who just brought up naked. And so serves me right. We have got the Lovers card. And I'm only covering this card. There's nothing inappropriate visible on it. But this card always does make me think of what I think is probably one of the sexiest videos I've ever seen. It's so beautiful. It's sexy in like a beautiful way, But there's a song by Timothy Bloom. I think it's called Till the End of Time. And it is like the most lovely, it's very simple, but it's basically exactly the embrace that we see here, and just singing, very close singing, but just beautiful music video. If you've not seen that or heard that song, it's gorgeous, just gorgeous. But I feel like that's what we've got going on. There's finally this awareness, like, I want to love this person. Yes, there is passion. There's the acknowledgement of, I crave them. I want to be with them. I want to be with her. But he's better for acknowledging it, is what this keeps saying. And that changes what could become the outcome now. Sure, the Lover's card reminds us both people would have to choose each other, but him first at like admitting to himself, I love her though. And I don't just love her. I want her to like be a part of my world. I want her to be mine. I would like her to want to be my lover. We have a Page of Wands. Look, he may not know it, but she may be at a point in her own life where it's been a very dry desert. She may have been alone or single for quite some time. Sometimes people don't ask each other out because they assume like, oh, I'm sure that you'd never want to date me. And it's like, are you kidding me? She's over here. She hasn't dated anybody in forever. We got a dry river. She's by herself with this, little red suitcase. She's over any exes and has had like enough time to kind of like cleanse herself of anyone else's energy. So I don't feel like there's ever been a better time, honestly, for a potential new romance to begin. Maybe she, in her own way, has given birth to a truth baby. Maybe it's taken her 9 months to get over someone. And she's like, this marks the day. Like, I really feel single. I don't have other people's energy around me anymore. She's very solo at this moment. Five of Swords. She is what she's putting in her past. She had a terrible run. Somebody treated her horribly. She had nothing but conflict and fights. He doesn't know anything about that with her. He doesn't realize. Here he's been fighting the fact that he loves her. He doesn't even know what her world has been. Five of Wands. Again, we see people arguing, fighting. So it's very interesting because the day that he's finally like, you know what? I adore her. That's just how it is. And God, yes, let me admit it to myself. I wish she was mine. I don't think there's ever been a better time for him to potentially approach her because she's had a ridiculously unpleasant run with whomever her previous partner was. Always conflict, always fighting, mean words, harsh words, ghosting, bad endings, continual overthinking, but all that's come to an end. Fives are numbers of change, and we see her literally turning her back and walking away and wanting something totally different for her future. Well, it would be totally different. Somebody who actually has all this warmth for her, somebody who has all this love for her. Oh, I hope that he approaches her. I really hope that he does. Ten of Swords. There's never been a better time. This is a fresh slate. Ten of Swords is always like the end of pain, and we see that he's no longer going to stress himself out and pretend that he doesn't care. She's meanwhile no longer dealing with an ex, whomever she went through so much drama with. She's single. This is two single people, and he's very drawn to her. So I see no reason for him not to reach out. We still have the Hermit, though. This is him, but I'm going to be silent still. I'm going to wait still. Can I reach out? This is new information for me to sit with and acknowledge. I love her. I want her. I've been telling myself it's not possible, and now it doesn't matter. I want her. So what do I do with this now? We have the Tower again. We have the Devil. This is him being liberated from that energy of like, no, I'm probably not enough. Probably don't have enough money. Probably shouldn't. Probably she won't want me. Probably all those fears. That's the other thing he's liberated from. It's nice when fear gets replaced by simply like desire. And also we saw him like feeling much more peaceful. Something about like talking to her or seeing her or interacting with her really like revealed what he knows to be true, which is, God, she's amazing. So all of a sudden these fears are dissolving. Are you about to do something? Are you about to reach out? It's definitely a momentous day. We're not going to get the answer because she's not supposed to know yet. The moon is here and it's like, let him make his move. Okay, we respect that. We back off. But that moon's real big. It doesn't say he's moving toward her. On the first, it says the acknowledgement that she is totally single is occurring on the first for herself, and his acknowledgement that he wants her. He wants to move toward her. This is enough of a breakthrough on a day, but will he move toward her? It says that's not neither here nor there for her. If he's going to move toward her, there's no reason for her to know the answer to that. Each character right now is kind of like still on their own journey. So if he approaches her, it's going to have to be not hidden. It has to be in like the full light of day. It has to be straightforward. Remember, he's getting into this better energy. But if he only chooses to say, I acknowledge that I really want her, but I'm still going to like try to, hint around, that's not going to do. It's not going to do. We can't have a secret like longing that, okay, now I know that I want her, but I'm not going to tell her. And he might do a little bit of that for a little bit, just because first he had to acknowledge this. Then the next phase is getting the courage to like really approach. So we're just going to let her stay in the dark for a little bit, because when he approaches her, it can't be murky. It has to really be illuminated. He's got to be able to say directly to her, it took me a long time to acknowledge, been interested in you for a long time, wanted to ask you out for a long time. Even if you tell me no, I'm glad I worked up the courage to go ahead and spit this out. He's got to get to the point where he can just say it so that it's not going to be this weird, murky, lingering, because that could be the next phase of this. And that's not going to be very respectful to this potential love story. So I'm actually glad that we leave this right now with her saying she doesn't know what's going to happen next. He's not on her radar. He hasn't presented himself like that to her. She doesn't know that he's interested in her. She probably knows of him, but she does not know that he's feeling those feels because he hasn't made that known. And I like the fact that after all of the stress and drama that she has, had with exes, I'm glad that this says, no, no, no. It's got to come out nice and fresh and clear and straightforward. Until that's going to be made clear to her, then there's no point in even talking about potential romance until it changes. So till he approaches her. But that could take a little bit of time yet. All right, you guys. So nice to see everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a card pull for at least a birthday on the 29th, the 30th, 31st, and the 1st right now. I'm going to do all 4 of those dates because somebody specifically said, will you make sure that you don't miss the 29th? And I know that I've missed several dates in August, but I'll still let you guys tell me if you'd like me to keep doing the little birthday card pulls or if you guys don't care about them. I put out a post so you guys can, vote and let me know, and I'll check it in a week or so and figure out what the majority of you guys like or want at the end of these videos. But so that we can at least make it up to those couple of days, let me first go ahead and go with the 28th, 29th. Sorry, did I just say that wrong again? the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. Okay, so for the 29th, we just got the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands energy. This is for a character whose birthday would be on the 29th. We have the Sun. Wow, this is nice. Let me get one more here. And we have the Hanged Man. This is absolutely lovely. So to have that 4 of Wands, this hints at possibly very happily ever after. Sometimes it's a marriage, or I always look at this as like people going to this bed and breakfast somewhere on, like, I don't know, Cape Cod or maybe in the Cotswolds or someplace that starts with a C. Apparently there's a cottage, but it always feels like a little bed and breakfast someplace tucked away for like a little honeymoon, or somebody runs a bed and breakfast, or this is a dream come true. Sometimes the 4 of Wands can be about the things that we really want in life that are just right for us, that are coming to pass. And, I look at the birthday messages as like, what's the big ticket item for the next year of life? And this says great happiness, great clarity, and alignment of the things that we want, and possibly a marriage. Now, the thing is with that Hanged Man here, it also says that there's other things in life that will be reflected, that we'll see in a different light. Old wishes and dreams, like old plans and things that, see how we have the spider web here over the mirror? There will be some old ideas that we might have resurfaced, and we see them in a different lens. So not only do we have like possibly romance, relationship, and great clarity in romance and relationship, and possibly a marriage, possibly, by the way, with a Leo or a Pisces, but other matters of the heart, other things that a character has wanted, other goals and wishes and dreams will probably resurface, and they may still wind up being, a part of a character's world, but it could be like, wow, something I wanted to do myself. Like, let's say somebody who's like, I always dreamed of moving to the Cotswolds and running a bed and breakfast. Now I found the love of my life. I'm getting married, and my partner wants to do this with me. That dream that I put aside 15 years ago has come back, and my partner and I are now thinking about this. So it's like big dreams and wishes coming true, possibly in the next year, for somebody whose birthday was on the 29th of August. That's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let's take a look at a message for the 30th. We're going to go with this deck. Someone whose birthday is the 30th. Okay, we have got the Lovers, the World, and the 6 of Wands, but the 6 of Wands is in the reverse. This is good and it's not. We have the choice of Lovers is here, but it feels like there's a possibly a long distance romance, and the idea of like, how are we going to make this work? You live in a different place in the world than I do, or one person travels a lot. Where would we choose to live? How can we make this work? It feels like we're not all going to get what we want. There will be like, oh man, this is a bummer because I wanted it all to be so perfect. And instead there's going to be compromise. But even if there has to be compromise, is that really so bad? Isn't that what all of this is about? It's like, I'm going to choose what I want, but in doing so, there will be other things that I'll have to sacrifice that won't feel like they're going perfectly well. Now, the other thing could be that anytime we're in relationships, and because this is a lover's card, this is not like two people getting married. This is two people choosing to like date or start building a bond. It does say that a hurdle that could arise is feelings of like insecurity that need to be addressed. And that could come from if these two are in a long distance or will be in a long distance relationship. By the way, strong Capricorn and also Gemini energy and possibly Leo, Sag, or Aries. But, there's always feelings of, worries that we're not enough or feelings of inadequacy that surface whether we're in relationships or not. But we definitely have a potential for like big travel in the next year for someone whose birthday is on the 30th, and the potential for, I don't know, loyalty seems to be at the heart of all this though. Loyalty, travel, maybe moving abroad even for a relationship, but still like being a little bit nervous, like, yikes, am I going to be liked? Is the family going to like me? And this could be on the person whose birthday is the 30th or on the partner. I could see somebody like uprooting and moving to a different culture to be with someone and saying, oh my God, I'm so nervous. What if their family doesn't like me? What if, even if we're good, what if it's going to be tough to fit into the community? What if, it does feel like somebody's a little bit nervous. Will I be well received? That's just something to work through. This love looks like loyalty is there. They seem like they're standing and facing everything arm in arm. So I don't know, to me, it bodes really well, even if there's that little bit of wobbliness of like worries, fears. All right. And then let's go for somebody whose birthday is the 31st. What do we have? We have got the Empress, the 10 of Cups. Wow. And the 8 of Wands. So not surprising, but I feel like somebody's going to have a massive glow up. Doesn't matter if they're masculine or feminine. We see somebody in the full blown, like very passionate, very like they're at the top of their game. This could be somebody who, I always think that there's so many like actors and actresses that I could point out that just keep looking better and sexier the older they get. Everybody knows my original heartthrob. If you watch my channel all these years, you all know my big heartthrob has always been Patrick Stewart. That man just looks better and better to me. I swear to God, I so adore him. Jean-Luc Picard, the captain of the Starship Enterprise. That was my first crush. And I still adore him. And Kevin Costner too. Oh, love those forehead wrinkles. I just think it's so sexy. But look, there's many people that I'm mentioning age and attractiveness because empresses typically have to live some life before they become empress status. And so oftentimes I think of them as like at least 40s, 50s, 60s and onward. And this is somebody who is like starting to hit their prime. Their real glow up comes a little later on in life. So I'm sorry, this is a more specific message. That's just what we got. But this is for somebody whose age bracket would be older. And it's like they have never looked better. They have never been more like elegant, more sexy, more attractive, handsome, beautiful, whatever. And it's also the best time of their life, maybe because they feel like there's a lot of radical self-acceptance and they feel like they've, grown into their features and they've grown into, their personality and they know who they are. And that might be why this is the time of their life to experience the greatest joy. This is somebody who's going to have a really very happy home, very, I feel like there's a lot of achievements coming in this year for somebody whose birthday is on the 31st. And then we've got that 8 of Wands. It is not a shock that there's going to be a lot of energies that want to come toward this character. That possibly, this always seems like somebody who's like wanting to pour their heart out to an individual, somebody who comes kind of screaming, bombing on into this Empress's world to say, I want to be with you. This could be while she's already like moving into her dream house, feeling really amazing, feeling like, wow, I've never been so confident in my life. I've never had so many things orderly in my life that are all bringing me joy. And we do have incoming energy. This doesn't look negative at all. It just says that there's unexpected, I would definitely say unexpected, a person possibly, but it could be more than just a person. It could be many coming into her life, because people will be drawn toward an empress, certainly. But it's also a time where I think many of her wishes, at least 8 of them, will be like coming in this next year. That's amazing. And then let's get one for the a birthday on the 1st of September. Here we go. All right, you guys. So nice to see everybody. We have got the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. You know, it's interesting because, you know, if we go back and think about what that storyline was for the 1st of September, it's interesting because it kind of fits in. We have somebody who's freed themselves from, you know, it was a shipwreck, right? It was a dumpster fire, but the shipwreck's already happened and now it's calm. The 10 of Swords says hurt and pain is over for a character. And here comes that big old rescue ship, and maybe it's a really nice, you know, cruise line that they're going to get scooped up onto. And so, you know, even though we see the wreckage of a ship, it's like so much better is coming. But emotionally, we have a character who's cut some, you know, energetic cords, and they're feeling much more free. They're feeling more like they're in an independent place. And although sometimes we could say, oh, but it's so sad. How come they have a 10 of Pentacles in the reverse? Like, why don't they have the support around them? Sometimes a character needs to free themselves from the group so that they can just have a little bit of time and space to go and explore, and maybe go on a singles cruise, and maybe stay a little bit single for a while and just enjoy themselves, enjoy the freedom of not, I mean, look, it's lovely to be there for other people, to be there for friends and family. But once in a while, characters also need some time and space to just take care of themselves. My image in my mind is like somebody who maybe is like, maybe they stay together for the kids. They finally have divorced. They're moving on, and finally they're free to go do whatever they want. Or this could be somebody who's young and they're like, you know what? I'm finally breaking away from, you know, family and, you know, whatever role everyone expected me to play. And I'm finally just out there independent, starting to brave the world. I'm backpacking through Europe. I'm going where I want to go. This could be somebody who's like 21, 18, and they're finally free and they're doing their own thing. And it just feels so amazing to kind of like not necessarily be at everyone else's beck and call, to not be in the fold so much, but rather to be free. Or I could say this is an older individual who is, again, like, kids are off to school. I'm single. I'm leaving behind a really difficult, you know, situation that I stayed in all those years for the kids, but now finally it's about me. Like, that's how this comes across. Somebody who really gets a chance to go and explore and stretch their own wings and doesn't have everybody else's needs to be answered for. All right, that is how Squishfish. Yes, Tom Selleck, the mustache. Yes, you're absolutely right. Tom Selleck is another total heartthrob. You've been with me for a long time. Yes, Tom should have been at the forefront. Sorry, Tom, if you're watching, I didn't mean to rank you below the other amazing heartthrobs out there. You guys are so adorable. All right, Wholesome Woman, thank you for weighing in. You guys, thank you. Jude Jedi, you're adorable. Thank you for being here. Karen Bishop, Amanda S, nice to see you. Baby Yoda, hi, hun. I hear you, baby. My baby is starting to shuff at me as he does. Would you desire to come up, little man? Would you like to come up and say hello? You can. Come on up. There's my big boy. There's my big boy. You want the mama. Okay, you get the mama. All right. Aries says we must disappear for a little bit. When we get back, we'll get to some zodiacs, okay? And we'll probably be gone for about 45 minutes or so. You guys, thanks again. Really nice to see everybody. 1CC11, I agree with you. Persephone's a lovely name. Jem, Julia, Tolliver, there we go. Ken, nice to catch you again. Hi, RT. Using my intuition, nice to catch you. Courtney Walsh, hi, honey. That's awesome. You love those solo hotels. That's awesome. CK Divine Statements, Annette Summersby, Dvanette. Thank you, babe. You're so sweet. Hi, Desi. The Queen Bee. Slay Princess, hi sweetheart. Stephanie D, Sunflowers Moon Power, Bruise Like Violets, Lion Queen, Nikki O. So nice to see you guys. I hope I didn't miss anybody in there, but thank you so much, you guys. All right. Aries is now licking my ankles, so that means he's letting me know those ankles need to be moving, Mom. So Amelia, Sherry, chart 2. Thanks, everybody. All right, guys, I'll be back in a bit and we'll get to some zodiacs. Bye for now. Come on.